Hello, and welcome to my supermarket tour reflection video. So I chose to go to my local Loblaws. When I think of Loblaws, I think of high-end, good quality groceries, and today I'm going to try to figure out what has led me to that assumption. Okay, so we've entered and Valentine's Day is in a couple days, so yay, giant bears! I chose to investigate the cereal aisle because as a child, I remember picking up a box or even two almost every time I went grocery shopping with my parents. Now that I know more about the agricultural industry, we shall uncover all the ways in which I was deceived. So the first cereal-related thing I see is the Shreddies on sale. And there's nothing wrong with that, but oops, there's a man, let's try that again. So these Shreddies are on sale, but why are they so far from the cereal aisle? Now I'm walking into the cereal aisle and wondering if there's a marketing reason behind placing other breakfast foods here, or if it's just because they fit into the same category. If we look to the other side, we see the frozen foods, specifically dessert. If I was a kid, I would be stuck in this aisle for a while picking up things left and right because most of them are sweets and other sugary things. Focusing on the cereals now, one random observation is this off-brand version of Fruit Loops. My guess is that the President's Choice one is cheaper and possibly healthier, but the Kellogg's one is more popular. I also found this brand that I've never heard of, Crave. But if you look at the company it's under, it's Kellogg's, which is very well known. I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw how many different flavors of Cheerios there were, and even other brands like Mini Wheats had multiple flavors. This ties into the point made in the supermarket tour regarding corporate control. There is an illusion of choice, but in reality, most of these brands are owned by just a few large corporations. A statistic mentioned in the supermarket tour states that Kellogg's and General Mills are at the top of the ready-to-eat cereal business, each controlling about 32% of the market. This led me to take a closer look at some of the cereal brands I grew up with, which were Lucky Charms, Corn Pops, Frosted Flakes, and Nesquik. As a child, I probably thought these are 4 different brands of cereals. But now I see that Corn Pops and Frosted Flakes belong under Kellogg's, while Lucky Charms and Nesquik are owned by General Mills. So what does this mean? There's pretty much a 50-50 chance of either Kellogg's or General Mills profiting from the cereal I choose. I should have noticed this sooner since all the Kellogg cereals are placed together and all the General Mills cereals are placed together. To add on to the placement and organization aspect, the well-known brands are at eye level while the cheaper, less-known brands are at the bottom, something also discussed in the supermarket tour. As well, what could be considered unhealthy cereal directed towards children is at the end of the aisle, while the healthier options, more geared toward adults, are in the middle of the aisle. I realize that this has to do with a strategy that consumers are more likely to pick up items at the ends of the aisles rather than go inside the aisle. From reading the supermarket tour, I also learned information about corn and soy. Something that surprised me was that corn and soy are being fed to cows, pigs, chickens, and some fish. These animals are naturally carnivores but are being bred to eat plant-based diets. Ethically, that doesn't seem right since they are basically being forced against their dietary nature. Another thing that was stated was that corn and soy are commonly broken down and then reassembled into many ingredients found in processed foods. To refer back to my childhood cereals, this would explain the common ingredients of corn syrup and modified cornstarch. 2 out of 4 of the cereals even have the phrase, "may contain soy" in bold letters. In conducting this tour, I was expecting to find similarities between products, which I did. But I'm surprised at how much else I observed by simply analyzing the placement of products or taking a quick glance at the information on their packaging. I'm curious how my thoughts are going to function the next time I go to a supermarket because I have a feeling there is going to be many questions, doubts about what is displayed as true, and more critical choices about what brands to buy. Thanks for joining me in my exploration of the cereal aisle at Loblaws. Bye!